will see the UFC wants me to do. If they call me and they want me to move up to the lightweight division, I will be okay with that, to move up and be the first one to submit Islam. And if they want me to keep defending that belt in the featherweight division, I will be okay with that too. So, hola a todo el mundo. Hello to everyone.
Ilia. Ilia, I'd be curious to know if you feel like you have gotten under Max Holloway's skin in the lead up to this fight.
I never thought about that, to be honest, and I don't care. I will be in his skin on this Saturday, that's for sure.
You know, he's saying that he was here earlier today and he feels that, you know, about this whole finger-pointing story, that you haven't earned that moment with him yet and you're just a copycat of Conor McGregor.
I never asked him if I deserve that or not. I will be pointing to the ground since the first second of the fight. If he wants to stay with me in the middle, it's okay, and prove that he's the real BMF. And if he decides to don't do that, it's okay too. I'm gonna find a different way to finish him and take his head off.
I've noticed that in the lead-up to this fight, you've had a BMF belt, but it's not here today. Did you bring it with you to Abu Dhabi?
Yeah, I have it with me.
Did you decide that you deserve to be the BMF belt because he wasn't defending it against you, or why did you purchase that?
For me personally, the opinion I have is that that belt was created for and because of George Masvidal. Beside of him, no one is a BMF. But if someone has to have it, I prefer to have it.
Do you believe that your chances of winning this fight go up if it's about finishing him, or if it goes the distance, can you match with him for the whole 5 rounds and match his pace?
Of course, I'm ready, not for 5 rounds, to be honest. I'm ready for 10 or 15 rounds, whatever he wants to do, I can do it. But I don't think that the fight will go to the distance. I will finish him before that.
If you knock out Alex Volkanovski and Max Holloway in 1 year, does that make you the best fighter this year?
I don't know who takes that decision, but if they think that I'm the best fighter, I will be very grateful with that. If not, Alex is a great fighter too. He deserves to be the best fighter.
Right here. You've used the phrase that you're the new era of mixed martial arts quite often. Max, I asked Max about that. He said, you know, you don't really do anything different. You punch, you kick, you wrestle, you do everything everyone else has done. So I guess, what exactly do you mean by saying that you are the new era of MMA?
The way I applicate the techniques and the skills to my opponent, the way I move my head, the way I dominate the octagon. That's the difference. What evolution do you see in Max Holloway in every fight? Maybe only in striking, but you don't see him getting better in wrestling or in the ground. You don't see him trying new things. Only in the striking. And this is what I'm talking about. I try to evolve the game all the time, not only in the striking, with the wrestling, with the ground game, with everything.
And to kind of go off of that, you know, everyone talks about Max Holloway's boxing, and he's the best boxer in the UFC. And this, you know, he broke Justin Gaethje's nose right away with that spinning back kick. He hurt Anthony Pettis with the same kick. Do you think people are focused so much on his boxing that maybe they don't see everything else well that he does?
In reality, he's a good striker. It's not only a boxer, because calling himself best boxer in the UFC is kind of shame, I think, because he's not the best boxer in the UFC. But he's a good striker. He has a lot of experience. He's very patient inside the octagon. But everyone is good when they can develop their style inside the octagon, and someone is not putting the pressure on him. So on Saturday night, he's going to feel something that he never felt with any other opponents that he had in the past. The pressure he's going to feel with me, it's going to be completely different.
So would you say you're the best boxer in the UFC?
I don't like to take credits from anyone in the UFC, because we have a lot of great fighters, and let's the people to decide that, right? Let's the people to call you the best boxer in the UFC.
And last one for me, Diego Lopez is weighing in as the backup. You know, you've said respectful things about him. He said respectful things about you. Have you run into him at all in the hotel?
No, I didn't see him, but he seems to be a good guy.
Ilia, მარჯვნ თუ შეიძლება. მარჯვნ. Quick words in Georgian, sorry, არაბატაუს გისურვებ. და როგორც სპორტის გულშემატკივრებს, რომელიც პირველ დღიდან გიყურებს, ძალიან მიხარია და სიამაყით ბავშვებს, რომ შენ კუთვნილ ადგილას ხარ UFC-ს კამრით. Now, back to my question. You defeated one of the greatest featherweights in history, Alex Volkanovski. Now you're fighting Max Holloway, another one of the greatest featherweights. If you defeat him, do you feel like there is no more challenge left for you at featherweight, and perhaps you want to fight Islam Makhachev next? What's it for you?
Before I used to make more predictions about that, and I want to fight this one or that, but at the end of the day, I want to do my job, which is to show up and fight, and we'll see what the UFC wants me to do. If they call me and they want me to move up to the lightweight division, I will be okay with that, to move up and be the first one to submit Islam. And if they want me to keep defending that belt in the featherweight division, I will be okay with that too. So let's leave that decision to the UFC.
Your friend, Merab, became the second Georgian to hold the UFC belt in less than a year. What is the feeling of you? How did you feel? Like, how are you feeling about that? And how happy were you when you see him?
I'm very happy. I have the pleasure to know Merab personally. He's an amazing human being, and he deserves that. He deserves to be and hold that UFC title.
Last one for me. Where do you feel should your next fight be? You mentioned Spain, Santiago Bernabeu. Is that where you want to defend your title next?
Oh yeah, for sure. It has to be in Madrid.
Thank you. Madloba.
A lot of fighters are reluctant to speak out about their goals, what they want to do in these fights, and you've said it all. You want to be 3-division champion, you're going to knock out Max in the first round, all these things. Where does that confidence come from, and why are you not maybe as reluctant as some other fighters to speak about what you feel is going to happen?
They ask me what I want to achieve in the UFC and what was my if I could dream big. So my answer was I want to become a UFC 3 weight class world champion. And what makes me be so confident? The hard work I'm putting in, and to know what I'm able to do inside that octagon.
Alexander Volkanovski, I know you had an interaction with him yesterday. Does that kind of go how you thought it would be? You guys were respectful, you'd shake hands?
I always respect Volk, always. Before the fight, after the fight, there was nothing personal. I was only fighting for my dreams. And this is the same thing what's happening this Saturday with Max. I have all the respect for him. He's a great fighter. He has achieved many great things in the sport. You can't take the credit from him. So I have learned many things from him. He called me a fan. Yeah, I followed his career. I've been a fan. How can you not be a fan of Max Holloway, right? So he's been a great example for me, but now it's my time to be that example for the new generation.
Yeah, and I spoke to Volk last night, and he said in his perfect world, you would win this fight and fight him in Australia at UFC 312. But he said he wasn't so sure you would do that, so he wants Max to win because he thinks he would be more willing to fight in Australia. What do you think of that?
Listen, if that makes him feel happy, that thinking that maybe I would go to Australia, that's okay. But in myself, that's never going to happen. I'm the champion, and if you want to fight for the title again, it has to be in Madrid instead of fighting in Australia in front of you people. Why I would give you that advantage?
For sure. Thank you.
You are fighting in Abu Dhabi. It's too close to the Spain, too close to the Georgia, and the fans from Georgia and Spain will be here cheer for you for the whole time. What it means for you to fight in front of your people from Georgia and Spain?
Well, it means a lot to be honest. I'm very used to fight in the enemy's territory. This is the first time that I feel that maybe I'm not in my territory, but we are in a neutral territory, which is amazing. A lot of Georgians and Spanish people will be able to come and support me, and they are doing that, and I feel very grateful with that fact, and very happy to be able to shine in front of all my people.
And also to speak about, you mentioned the enemy's territory. This looks like a little bit enemy's territory because of the last couple of weeks you spoke with Islam and all the fighters from Dagestan who likes to fight here. Is it like a little bit extra pressure or extra motivation for you to fight in front of them there?
Not at all. No, man. This is not their territory. They are not from here. They are Russians. So I don't feel any pressure because of that.
And also to say, the Merab you mentioned, you are so happy for Merab. Can you tell people how hard is it to fight and for your dreams from such a country like Georgia, which struggled many times in the last couple of 30 years?
It's very hard. It's very hard, but it's not impossible. Everything is possible in this life. It doesn't matter where you come from if you know where you're going, right? You have to have that positive mentality always, because I always used to say like this: both fear and faith demand you to believe in something that you never saw, and you have to choose to believe in what you want to believe. I always choose to believe in things that make me feel happy.
Ilia,
And the
para
one else
España.
for me, please. Έρθεις our slot. You say that you were a Max Holloway fan when you were young and watching him while growing up and becoming the professional fighter. What kind of difference you see from Max, for example, 5-6 years ago and Max today?
That's the thing. I don't see any difference. He's the same Max Holloway that we have seen since, I don't know, 2020. Since I made my UFC debut, he's the same one. Good striker, very patient in the octagon, but that's it. I didn't see any evolution in his game.
Ilia, para España, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo vas? ¿Todo bien?
Muy bien, muy bien. Un poco me cuesta estos cambios, pero de inglés, georgiano, español.
Acaba de decir Max Holloway que eres un copión de McGregor, que le has robado sus tatuajes, su aura.
Es un mequetrefe. Ya no sabe. ¿Por qué no habla de lo que se tiene que hablar? Que es de la pelea. Porque no ve ninguna falla en mí. No sabe de dónde cogerse. Sabe que soy mucho mejor que él. Y ahora tiene que ir a algo como el mismo Conor, ¿no? Diciendo que yo no era español. Es que como no tengo ninguna falla en mi estilo y como peleador soy mucho mejor que ellos, van a eso. Pero realmente que se presente el sábado por la noche y le cierro esa boca.
Precisamente la pregunta era sobre lo de los 10 segundos, sobre que le vas a citar en el centro y no ha acabado de decir si se va a atrever o no.
Ya se está rajando, se está rajando.
Anoche estuvimos hablando de ello en el partidazo de Copa y tu colega Juanma decía, ¿pero de verdad le va a noquear en 10 segundos a un tipo que no ha noqueado a nadie?
Si se planta, está noqueado, ya está noqueado. Como no lo sienten. Si yo fuera otro tipo de peleador, si yo fuera Jair Rodríguez o Brian Ortega, él diría, claro que sí, me planto aquí en los primeros 10 segundos, me da igual. Y está diciendo, no, yo estoy corriendo un gran riesgo, pero ¿qué riesgo estás corriendo? Lo único que te hace relevante es el BMF que tienes, que ni siquiera lo pones en juego. Yo soy el que está poniendo en riesgo las cosas, yo soy el que está poniendo este cinturón en el medio. Entonces el que verdaderamente está corriendo el riesgo soy yo. Pero aún así no lo quiere hacer. ¿Por qué? Bueno, pregúnteselo a él. Algo que a alguno le acerque papel ahora en su habitación.
Y sabes que la pelea es justo después del Madrid-Barça. ¿Qué le dices a la afición española, a todos nuestros oyentes? ¿Qué tienen que hacer nada más terminar ese clásico que es tan importante en nuestro país?
Primero, antes de decir qué es lo que tienen que hacer, lo que he estado diciendo es a ver si me he equivocado y en vez de tener que noquear a Max Holloway, tengo que noquear al responsable de quien puso ese partido en la misma hora, el mismo día que mi combate, cuando eso se sabía hace un par de meses.
Javier Tebas se llama, por si quieres.
Bueno, pues vamos a por Javier Tebas, el próximo.
Y a la afición española,
lo que les diría es, a ver, gracias por el apoyo. Ahora, tampoco les voy a decir de que no vean el partido, vean mi pelea, que a mí me duele, ¿sabes? Que a los amantes del deporte que no le hayan dado la oportunidad de disfrutar de estos dos eventos, así que disfruten de lo que quieran. Y gracias por el apoyo.
Gracias a ti, Ilia.
Ilia, just
on your left.
one from my side only. We feel like there is a bit of a black box around your team. We're used to fighters making it in the regional scenes in Europe, even here, in Africa, and then moving to the US, joining American Top Team or ATT or whatever it be, AKA. But you're coming out of this team in Madrid that we don't really know much about, your coaches, the team itself, your teammates. Can you tell us a little bit about what you've built with this team and where you see yourself taking, obviously not just yourself as a champion, but the whole team with you along with Spanish MMA?
¿Me quieres ayudar, José?
¿Cómo has creado tu equipo y que dónde vas a llevar tu equipo ahora que sos campeón y cómo van a subir todos juntos a lo que se viene, a lo que se aproxima?
So I always surround myself with great professionals in every discipline that I need. I have one of the best boxing coach that you can have, grappling coaches, strength conditioning coaches. So I don't know what to tell you, to be honest.
We see fighters like let's talk about Bilal as an example, who comes from a small gym in Chicago.
Yeah.
Now you've got
I come from a small gym too, the Clement Club.
But that's what I want to know is, are you now seeing people wanting to come and join your team and get into this gym and work out what you're doing? Because we know nothing about it, to be honest. Like, we want to know more about your team and what you're building and whether or not you're thinking to expand this thing, or is this just Team Ilia and that's it?
No, it's not just Team Ilia. We have a lot of guys. Actually, my brother is gonna make his UFC debut very soon too. We have a lot of guys growing, and hopefully they're gonna join the UFC soon too. I grew up in a gym called Clement Club, a small gym in Alicante, and they create many great fighters beside of me.
Thanks. Good luck, champ.
Ilia, on your left. You mentioned that you don't consider Abu Dhabi a home territory for Islam and fighters from Dagestan because, as you said, a lot of fans from Georgia can come here, a lot of fans from Spain can come here. Do you think your fight can make a perfect case for the possible future match with Islam to be staged in Abu Dhabi? Because, as you mentioned, your fan audience can easily come here, his fan audience can easily come here as well.
The thing that I want to fight with Islam doesn't mean that I have anything against the people from Dagestan. I don't have anything against anyone, you know. All the respect to all the people. And yeah, it could be a great place to make that matchup between me and Islam. Abu Dhabi, it's a great place. He's going to have a lot of fans here. And I'm sure that a lot of Georgians and Spanish people will come to support me too in that fight.
Yeah, thank you.
Ilia?
Matador?
Ilia? You're one of the few, Ilia, at your left.
Sorry.
You're one of the fewest fighters that does everything that he says. What's the secret to this? Is it just confidence? Is it a mixture between confidence and training? How are you able to do everything that you say?
To prepare yourself for what you're saying, right? I just trust myself. I know the preparation I have for everything I have in front, and my confidence comes from that, from the preparation.
Does it put more pressure on you the more you win? Because, as you know, the more you win, you fight with...
Not at all, because many people think that I'm trash talking, but I'm only saying the truth. I'm saying what I really feel inside myself.
Are you going to watch the Clásico this Saturday?
I can't, because it's going to be in the same time as my fight.
What's the prediction for the score?
3-1.
For
Real Madrid.
A la Madrid. Gracias por todo. Good luck.
No, man, thank you.
Matador, lo curioso que es la vida, ¿no? Hace 4 años debutabas aquí en Abu Dhabi ante Youssef Zalal con corto aviso, y hoy 4 años más tarde defiendes tu título ante una leyenda. ¿Qué sientes con todo lo que ha pasado en toda esta exitosa carrera que tú tienes? 4 years ago, you defended your... you know my English is terrible.
It's great, man. It's great.
Okay. You started your dream here in Abu Dhabi with Youssef Zalal, and now, 4 years later, you will defend for the first time your title. How do you feel about all the achievement?
Te respondo en español, ¿no?
Yes.
No, me siento súper bien, súper emocionado el hecho de haber hecho mi debut. Lo hablaba justo con el equipo la última noche. El hecho de haber hecho mi debut aquí y ahora tener mi primera defensa del título es algo increíble, ¿no? De hacia dónde la vida te va conduciendo cuando vas trabajando y confiando en todo el proceso. Enfrentarme a Max Holloway, un luchador que he mencionado que he seguido su carrera desde que me introduje en el mundo de las artes marciales, y ahora compartir el octógono con él es algo que me emociona, pero es lo que te digo, una vez el octógono se cierra, me da igual el nombre, el apellido, voy a por la victoria. Y mi objetivo siempre es conseguir cosas que no mucha gente lo ha podido conseguir.
Si alargamos el invicto 16-0, ¿te gustaría lo que es ir a por el siguiente cinturón, el de Islam Makhachev peso ligero, aquí de nuevo en Abu Dhabi o en Madrid?
Es lo que comentaba antes. Antes solía hacer más predicciones sobre ello, pero ahora es como lo que la UFC quiera. Mi trabajo es prepararme y pelear. Si ellos me llaman y me dicen que quieren que defienda el título, eso haré, o si quieren que suba de categoría y pelear por el otro cinturón, también estaré ok con eso. Ellos saben mis deseos. Mi deseo siempre ha sido también pelear por el otro cinturón, así que veremos a ver qué es lo que el futuro nos tiene, ¿no?
Ilia, por aquí Álvaro Colmenero para ABC MMA. Si logras noquear a Max Holloway, cuando logres noquear a Max Holloway, después de haber noqueado a Alexander Volkanovski, ¿en qué estatus crees que te posicionará dentro de la división a nivel histórico, a nivel legendario?
A ver, yo creo que poca gente puede decir que ha noqueado a Max Holloway y a Volkanovski, ¿no? Y en un mismo año son dos peleadores icónicos de la división. Volkanovski ha barrido literalmente con toda la división, 7 peleas por el campeonato, 7 victorias. En Max Holloway, un atleta que se ha enfrentado a todos los campeones que han existido en la división y ahora se va a enfrentar a mí. ¿Dónde me posiciona? 100% que me posiciona en un buen lugar.
Y para terminar, Ilia, después de este combate, sí o sí, el siguiente tiene que ser ya en el UFC España. Te vas a parar, te vas a plantar y vas a decir, el siguiente España sí o sí.
Es que lo saben, el siguiente tiene que ser en España, pero al mismo tiempo, ¿sabes qué pasa, Álvaro? Que los que entienden y saben del negocio son la gente que está detrás de que podamos disfrutar de este espectáculo, ¿sabes? Y a veces te salen con unos argumentos que son bastante razonables. Entonces, tampoco me voy a subir a un burro que no, ¿sabes? Al final se trata de que todo el mundo gane. Así que veremos a ver qué es lo que la UFC quiere, qué es lo que yo quiero y si podemos alinear nuestros deseos.
Muchas gracias, Ilia, y suerte para este sábado.
Gracias.
Ilia, გამარჯობა. აკეთ. უპირველეს ყოვლისა, კიდევ ერთხელ რა ვიცი, წარმატებები ველოდებით მშვენიერ გამოსვლას. ახლა გავადავალ ისევ ინგლისურად და გკითხავ, რეალურად ძალიან ბევრი რამ შეიცვალა. უბრალოდ ხო, დამოიწელა გადასვლა. So a lot has changed, and now for the first time you're defending your title, and I feel like your nickname Matador right now is even more apt in this circumstance than usual, because for the first time people will be coming at you to try to take away something that you have, right? Does that somehow affect the strategy that you are planning to implement in this fight, or are you still sticking to the game plan of moving forward like you usually do?
I always stick to my game plan. They always wanted to take something from me, which is the undefeated record, and no one could, and no one will do that. I will keep and retire as undefeated fighter.
Okay, fantastic. I saw from the videos and of course on the embedded that you have basically you and Guram Kutataladze, another fighter from Georgia, the lightweight, are working together actively in this camp. Was that just because you've worked with him prior and you're comfortable with working with him, or is it because he's able to show you some things and implement some of the techniques that maybe Max uses?
The first thing is that I felt very comfortable with him. He's my brother, and we did a lot of training camps together. And the second one is, of course, that he can simulate a lot the Max Holloway style.
Okay, thank you.
Better than even Max did.
And one last question from me. Have you prepared the rose already?
Everything is prepared. Everything is prepared. The victory is prepared too. The only thing I have to do is to go there Saturday night and pick up what's mine.
Fantastic. Thank you and good luck with that.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much to everyone.
So how are you doing?
What's up, brother? Hey, congrats, bro. Congrats. I watched it.
What do you think?
Bro, you're an animal.
Thanks, brother. I get the impression that Ilia Topuria is not necessarily under your skin, but some of the things he says kind of confuses you more than annoys you. Would that be accurate?
Yeah, I'm more confused about everything that he's saying about me not wanting to fight him, me getting forced to fight him. The dude just, he got me out here feeling like how he looked after my Gaethje fight. So it's crazy.
Do you get the impression, right, he's clearly a confident guy, he clearly believes in his skills, but do you think when he's talking about, I'm going to fight for the lightweight title, then the welterweight title, and Max is going to be easier than Josh Emmett, do you think he believes what he's saying, or is he trying to sort of build himself up so he gets that confidence?
I think, I don't know, bro. His mind is very interesting. I couldn't answer that question for you, to be honest, bro. But if that's what it takes to be the best version of himself come Saturday night, then so be it. He can talk all that talk he wants, because at the end of the day, he still got to see me in 3 days.
Out of all the things he said, is the whole I'm going to point at the floor in the first 10 seconds thing the one that kind of makes you roll your eyes the hardest?
Yeah, because it just makes no sense, At the end of the day, to me, I don't think he deserves. You got to earn that right. I don't think he deserved that right. With him being... you know the guy that he's copycatting. This guy's a copycat. Down to the tattoos, to his aura, to the way he's approaching fights. The guy's a copycat, and you're best friends with the guy he's following. So, trying to copy. So, at the end of the day, I think you got to earn that moment. And I believe he had that. He could have earned it with Josh Emmett in their 5-round roar. Josh Emmett was trying to swing. If you guys can go back to that fight and watch what happened. When Josh Emmett was trying to swing, someone shot and someone held someone down for the rest of the fight. So I think the moment needs to be earned, and he's just trying to steal stuff. He's already trying to steal one person's aura, and now he's trying to steal somebody else's thing. So it's amazing.
He's clearly a good fighter, right? No one does that to Volkanovski if they're not a good fighter. But you, in your career, fought Aldo, you fought Conor, you fought Volkanovski, you fought the best of the best in this division's history. When you look at Ilia as a fighter, how does he rank up against those names? Or do you still think he's kind of unproven?
He's an animal. He's good, A lot of people forget that when he came into the UFC, he got brought in as a grappler and wrestler. That's what he was. And he came into the UFC, started knocking dudes out. His boxing is nice. As a fighter, you cannot be a hater and say he's not good, Is he proven? He did what he had to do when he had to do it to get to the position he has. So there's no disrespect to that. But you get to see me come Saturday night, so that should be fun.
And the last one for me, you obviously bumped into your old rival Alex this week. Is that kind of a fun one where you guys had a great trilogy, but it almost feels like that chapter might not be over yet, so it's not time to sit back and look and reflect together yet? Are we still there's still some future here?
Yeah, for sure. The dude got 3 on me. I gotta get 1, bro. I gotta get 1. So at the end of the day, it's always respect with Alex. It's always respect with anybody. It takes a certain type of human being to go out there in the octagon and to share the octagon with. So. With Alex, it's always respect. With most of my opponents, it's always respect,
Max over here. Jose, go ahead. Just going back to what you were saying about how Ilia is a beast and comparing him to your past opponents, he keeps using this phrase I bring the next evolution of mixed martial arts. That's what he's saying about himself. When you actually break it down, do you see things that he's doing differently that people weren't doing years ago, or is that just something you think he's saying to kind of build the fight?
I mean, it's probably something to bring the fight, to build the fight, because I don't think he's doing anything different than people, you know? I mean, everybody strikes, everybody wrestles, everybody judos, Greco-Roman, whatever you want to call it. Everybody does this. It's mixed martial arts, you know, and he's putting it together pretty well for himself. But I mean, like he's saying, this new generation. I'm only a couple of years older than him, so you know, I've been here, done that. Like I said, a lot of people keep forgetting how young I was. You know, like I said, when I think ESPN posted it. When I was his age, I had like all my title wins and title defenses already. So that's just how that goes.
Title fight aside and the hype around this fight, after UFC 300, there were a lot of journalists and fans. They kind of circled this fight as their most anticipated fight for the rest of the year, right after UFC 300. You guys weren't even booked yet, so do you kind of take that as do you take pride in that even though the fight wasn't booked, like people were like, John Jones still hadn't fought yet, and Pereira hadn't done his thing yet, but people were still circling this fight as like the one that they wanted to see.
For sure, man. When your name is put up against guys like Alex Pereira and John Jones and people, and these guys are still fighting. There was fighting this year, there was gonna have fights this year, and when you put those names against our names and they said this is the fight that everybody wants to watch, I mean, that's pretty amazing, At the end of the day, I'm just stoked to be talked about in that sense.
And when Alex Volkanovski did his breakdown of this fight, he said that he's not sure that he can fight through being uncomfortable with you. He kept using that word, if it gets in the later rounds, Max can make this uncomfortable. Is that how you see the fight playing out? In the later rounds, you can kind of take him out of his element and make this fight uncomfortable?
Yeah, I mean, we see what happens. You never know. You never know what can happen. Your boy been touching people on the right spot and been putting them down. So that's always fun. And at the end of the day, we see what happens. I know he talked about his cardio. He believes he has cardio, but most of the time, his cardio is outshining the opponent's cardio because he's hurting them early in their fights. And the beautiful thing is, guys, I just can't wait, man. I can't wait. It's going to be something special. Tune in Saturday night.
And last one for me. I'm sure you saw it, but Power Slap champ, Crazy Hawaiian, told the story about how you stepped up on him when he was a senior, when he was too high in class.
Yeah.
Is that how it actually played out?
Brother, I was just trying to learn, bro. And I didn't say shut the hell up. I said some other words. And we had some other words. And I was training already. They knew who I was. He has a younger brother that was my friend. So I think that probably helped too. But I was just trying to learn, bro. Bro, please shut the hell up. And I was just like, bro, I'm in class. I'm trying to learn. Be quiet. And we know he was older. It's like, bro, you're down here for a reason. Shut up, I'm trying to learn in class. Leave me alone.
Was he still that big at the time?
Oh, bro, he was huge, bro. He was huge. Maybe a little bit smaller, but he's still big. And I was much smaller, bro. I was like a 135 or 125 or soaking wet. So that's crazy.
Max, right here. So I was at the UAE Warriors event last night, and there was a Gracie member fighting on the card, and he was losing 2 rounds, and then the third, he pointed to the center of the cage, and then about 30 seconds later, he was butt scooting in that same area on the cage. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that, and can we set the record straight on how you're allowed to point to the middle and what circumstances allow this?
I mean, everybody can point to the middle, bro. It is what it is, but what you're gonna do to the middle, if you're doing it because of the way I'm doing it, you cannot step back. You gotta go in there and step in the fire and throw. But who knows, bro? Some people they point it down and they shoot after. Maybe that's their secret move, or point it down and booty scooting now. So that's pretty cool.
I'm curious, do you think this win, if you get this title back, will be more meaningful than the first time around, just given the time in between the title reigns and everything you've had to overcome to get back here?
Never. I mean, I don't know for you guys, the way you guys look at my career, but personally, fighting a guy who I stood idolize and what he's doing, the dude is still fighting, bro. What the hell? Does he age? I mean, I saw somebody talking about how they might be lying on his age, and he's still moving like that. It's just crazy. And to fight the King of Rio in Rio, to win it the way I did, nothing's gonna ever top that moment for me.
Can we bring back the hex ties if you get the win here?
Maybe bring back the suits and the hex ties. Maybe. Never say never.
A lot of talk this week about how you moved up 3 spots in the lightweight rankings. I'm just curious what you thought about that happening, given the fact that you were at 1 spot and you hadn't fought since then, and then this week you jump up again.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. The ranking is wild. It doesn't matter unless you got the belt. So it's cool moving up, this and that, being in the pound for pound and everything. But if you're not first, you're last, I guess.
If you have 2 belts over your shoulders after this fight, is it going to be a tough decision to decide which one you want to defend?
Not at all, man. Not at all. UFC can tell me what they want to do, and we can do it. So I mean, there's a lot of fun fights here at 45 now. Division is like kind of coming up. I know they bring somebody else up here. So with Diego, so that's a cool couple guys coming up. 55 is always fun to throw my name in the mix, but first things first is Ilia. I got my hands full with him, and you can ask me that question after Saturday night.
Yeah, I guess going off that, you want to wait till after the fight. But Volkanovski, he really wants to fight in Australia, and he said, he wants you to win because he thinks you're more likely to go there and fight him in February. Do you think he's maybe on point with that analysis, at least, that you're more likely to take that fight there than Ilia?
I mean, we see what happens. First things first is Ilia. And then after this, I promised my boy some traveling time in December, so that might be a quick turnaround. And then I have 2 Aussies who represent me in my management, and I found out what taxes is over there. I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, Vegas sounds good.
Hello, sir. How are you doing? Some years ago, you said that you are still waiting and new from Bruce Buffer, and it's your extra motivation. So in April at UFC 300, you finally heard and knew. So are you satisfied now and Bruce can relax? Or, do you still care how he will announce you after your fight?
Oh, yeah. And new undisputed title. The BMF title. The BMF title, guys, I don't even know what's going on. Why people is like so crazy about it. Before the title, it's supposed to be a fake title. After the title, now everybody wants the fake title. And then people getting mad for me not putting it up. Like, I have that type of control in this fight to put up a fake title. And then the guy I'm fighting, if it's a fake title, he bought a fake title. So that doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what's going on in this world anymore.
And one more question. What's your opinion on the main event in Power Slap, if you follow it, of course?
I don't follow it too much, but I know the Crazy Hawaiian. We went to school together. We had that story. I got a poo too for my Waianae native.
Thank you.
Mats, hello. You have like 15 5-rounder fights right now, and Ilia in overall have 15 fights in Korea. What this experience means for you first in this fight against Ilia and in MMA overall?
Experience is cool, but experience can all get taken away with one shot, and Ilia has that one shot. I've been working on my one shot, so experience is experience. It is what it is. This is a world title fight. He won the fights that he's supposed to win to be here. I won the fights that I'm supposed to win to be here, and we got to fight. So that's all there is.
And the one is for me. What this fight means for the Hawaiian MMA?
It means a lot, man. It means a lot. I go back out there. I reclaim the throne. I get to go back Hawaii 15 pounds heavier with something nice and golden on my shoulder. It would be amazing.
Thanks.
Max, to your left, winning Saturday night automatically gets you a lightweight shot against Islam. Does it excite you knowing it replaces the long-anticipated matchup that never happened against Khabib?
Unless you work in the UFC, and I don't know nothing, because I never ever heard of that, but that'd be amazing news to me if I got my hand raised and that was the direct shot. But for sure, like I said, man, I was talking about it all week. We missed the shot with the Khabib fight. They call Islam the 2.0, and I think Islam is like, he's more willing to fight me now. I know he didn't care too much, because why would he? I was a 45er coming up and the 55 and so whatever. But now he seems more openly to the fight. So, I mean, never say never. You know, first things first. Like I said, though, I got Ilia. He's my full focus.
Well, you're closer than ever to being a triple champ, so good luck.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Max? Hi, over here. Greetings from Georgia, or how we say Gamar Joba. You mentioned traveling. I just wanted to let you know that no matter what happens Saturday, we're rooting for both of you. May the best man win, and you're always welcome to come and visit Georgia.
Thank you.
As for questions, so I don't know. I know you're not the type of guy to kind of rest on your laurels or smell the roses, as you say. But you are the first ever fighter to hold the interim title, to hold the undisputed and the BMF title. And as far as undisputed title goes, you have both the old belt and the new belt. So basically, you're like featherweight Thanos or something. I don't know. You've collected them all. So after such a long career, filled with like amazing moments, right? What keeps that fire burning? What keeps motivating you?
The next one is always the best one. That's what keeps me motivated. Just and being motivation for the next generation. You know, we got a lot of stuff going down in Waianae right now, and or even in Hawaii period, and people just need hope. So if I can be that little hope, that little share of light, then so be it.
Amazing. Well, if some people, I know people, my friends, and those who like to watch your fights, they are very inspired by you all the way halfway across the world. So I'm sure people in Waianae feel that as well. And just one more question, kind of. I know that your career is far from over, and I know that we're going to see, I'm pretty sure, many amazing fights from you. But I just wanted to know, kind of, again, this is not the talk about retirement or anything, but how would you want to be remembered as a fighter?
Actually, not even as a fighter. I just want to be remembered one of the greatest people. Just a great person. That's it. No fighting anything. I just want you guys to know me and people, all the UFC staff, just to know me as a great person. Like, oh, when they talk about myself, it's like, oh yeah, that was a great kid, or that was a great guy, and that's about it. You know, that you only can leave great stuff behind. You know, and with all these records and everything is cool, but your personality and how you treat someone else is much more important to me. So if you guys can be like, oh yeah, Max was a great guy. Anytime I interview him, anytime I talk to him, any interaction I had with him was great. That's more than enough for me.
I think mission is accomplished. Thank you.
Thank you.
Max, right here. You're a guy that's always kind of taking care of yourself. You've limited to hard sparring and things like that. Just a question about Tua Tagovailoa recently. He's kind of come out and people have asked him, are you going to wear the Guardian cap? And they've talked about his health and things like that. And he said, I'm not going to wear it for personal reasons. Just wanted to get your thoughts on that and like younger guys in not only MMA but contact sports taking care of like their mental health and dealing with concussions and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, Tua's Polynesian, bro. He's Hawaiian. So that there goes why he wants to do that. And he's an animal, bro. And I mean, bro, the dude is worth so much money. They got to be knowing what they're doing, you know. And the main thing I would say to what you're talking about is take care of your guys' brain. Try and find brain health. Learn about brain health and do the right things. You know, you only get one brain, guys. You only get one brain, and once that thing starts deteriorating, it's not like anything else where you can grow it back. So be smart. Go see specialists. Go see doctors. Go do research on your own brain health and take care of yourself. Because at the end of the day, that's what it is. You know, you wanna be able. I don't want to be a vegetable when I grow older. Especially with all these, everybody keep talking to me about how much times you got hit and blah blah blah. Brother, I take brain health so serious. People will never know. After my career, maybe I'll talk about it and all this stuff that we've been doing. But take care of you guys' brains. Do you guys' homework. Get on it and be smart.
Hey Max, back here. You spoke a little bit about the BMF belt, and let's be honest, you've given that belt real lineage now, especially with the performance that you put in against Gaethje. Another person who is pretty BMF in my opinion, Dan Ige, taking Lopez on 4 hours. What do you think of the idea of a Hawaiian v Hawaiian BMF?
That'd be That'd be amazing, right? 2 Hawaiians at the top of it, the pinnacle. 2 Warriors. I mean, it'd be cool.
In Hawaii.
In Hawaii, that's probably not going to happen. That's something that it's not a UFC problem with Hawaii, guys. It's a Hawaii problem. I don't know what's going on in Hawaii. I don't know why they give us so much hard times. When I had the belt and we had opportunities to do it, but it's an Hawaii thing, bro. It's a Hawaii thing. But next big thing would be probably in Vegas. But with that, 2 Hawaiian fight for a BMF belt, I couldn't see something more fitting. That'd be funny.
Best of luck, champ. Thank you.
Thank you.